Good afternoon everyone, I hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me live in the Stamps by Me studio here in Wakefield. How to Craft Network, that's who we are, and that's where we provide you with lots of inspiration. Maybe you've lost your mojo or you want to be a little bit creative, then this is the place to come and see me. You can mute me if you want to, but it's a lovely place to come, meet the family, the Stamps by Me family, who interact every single day. They stay connected and we all look after one another. So if you are brand new to the channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button. That lets you know when we've got all the notifications, when we do a live launch, when we have sales, when we're doing something special, or if it's just a inspirational video, it lets you know. There is a little bell as well, which will give you a half-an-hour notice as well. So I hope you're all well. Lovely to see you all. Hi Bernadette, Sarah, Jeanette, Margaret, Michaela, Sian, Tracy, Janine, Anne, Kathy, Avril. Lovely to see you all. Did we all have a nice weekend? Quite fast-paced this weekend, wasn't it? Did you all have a nice Sunday? Yes, I felt the pain of it today, packing the orders. But now I've got my creative pants on, so we'll have a bit of a creative hour with you lovely ladies and gents. Just a couple of updates then. Just to let you know, our order system, as we say, is obviously working really hard, and we are working hard to get orders out the door. What I will say to you though is orders may come at different times. So if you ordered in the sale, but yet you ordered yesterday or today, you may get today's or yesterday's before you get your sale items. It's all a little bit confusing, but because of the several orders that were made throughout the sale, we're trying to connect all the dots and save them, send them all together and things like that. But yet we have another team on the everyday orders. So if you get your second order before your first, please don't email in saying my first order's gone missing, I got my second first. It's not the case. You're just going to have to be patient. Royal Mail will and DPD will get them out to you as quick as they can, as we will get them to them as quick as we can. So Sunday was superb. It was, wasn't it? We had so much fun. Great day. A day to go down in the memory book, is that one? So I just wanted to tell you about orders, but if you have got any queries, you can always ask on the Eureka fan page. The design team will help as well, including me. We have had lots of emails as well, people ordering in error, paying postage when they shouldn't have paid postage. We had over 2,000 emails, so that's taken him all day. So just be mindful that if you have an email and it's not being answered, they are getting looked at. We're not ignoring you, they are going through the system. And if you have orders and you ordered them at different times, they may come at different times, but again, they may all come at the same time. It depends. So thank you for your patience on it regardless. So I'm sorry about the little bit of banging. We're just having a little bit of work done next door. That's all very exciting. You'll know about that very soon. So let's move on. What we're going to do today is I was asked if we could work on the creative box and on the embossing folders. Now, they're out of stock. And I don't really like to give inspiration when products are out of stock because it frustrates. However, these did sell out like really, really crazily fast. Not normally. We normally have stock left for if you are watching for the first time. But it sold out so quick, and I don't really want to not do a studio on them just because they sold out so fast, because a lot of our lovely ladies on here did buy them and do want the inspiration. So I am going to do the inspiration today. I hope that's okay. The creative box will not be back in stock. Sorry about that. It was just a one-off. We do have creative boxes. We've got 2 more in the pipeline. One pretty soon actually. But once they're gone, they're gone. However, our embossing folders land on our doorstep any day. So if you do like what you see and you're wanting to get the embossing folders, we'll let you know when they are in the building, and then if you want to buy them, you can. Okay, but in the meantime, the techniques that I am going to show you will work with any embossing folders you've got in your stash. Okay, so you don't have to watch our channel and just use our products. We encourage using all of your stash. That's why we buy it. We spend a lot of money on it. Let's use it. So the techniques today can be used across the board on other branded products too. Okay, let's have a look. Is everybody all right? Tracy's saying, question, is it true that the new creative box is being launched on Thursday? I think it's down on the schedule as Thursday, but I don't think it is Thursday. I think that's a little bit of an error. I think that's an error, but I will keep you posted. I'm here again with you tomorrow, so if I find out by tomorrow, I will let you all know. I think we all need a break from spending money. spent a fortune yesterday on Create and Craft myself. I bought that little We Are Memory Keepers airbrush. Did you see it? I don't know if anybody saw it, but I thought if I don't quite get on with it, my son will absolutely love it regardless. So yeah, I need to stop spending, probably as you guys do as well. I know what a lot of you are like. I'm not surprised. Some of you have probably got shops bigger than my shop with all my products in. I know exactly what you're all like. All of you on here, I know what you're like. So let's be creative. So before I get into the actual demonstration, what I'm going to show you is a little video. So if you tuned in late or you haven't seen the video, I'm just going to show you a little bit of inspiration using the creative box and our embossing folders already. And then when we come back, I'm going to show you some brand new techniques on how to get the most out of the brand new products. So have a look at this video and I'll see you in a couple of minutes. So I'm just quickly looking at the messages there. One lady's put, we'll just have to keep asking the question until Toni sees it. And you just tell me what that question is because I haven't seen it. And then I'll try and answer it for you. So I'm going to be doing some lovely inspiration with our embossing folders. Now, each machine is different. I cannot comment on the variations of machine plates. I have mine. I can't actually remember what I did before, to be honest with you, but I think I've got them right. But we're soon to find out, aren't we? So let's go ahead and have some fun. Right, first of all, I want to show you a couple of techniques that you, rather than just, the embossing folders emboss, brilliant. So let's take them to that next level. I know I've had a couple of messages from ladies saying, how do you paint the flower like you did on TV? I'll quickly show you that at the end. But first of all, let's have some fun with some techniques with the embossing folders. So I've just got this one here. And I'm just going to get some white cardstock. I've got some pre-cut squares here. Oh, they're a little bit big actually. It's okay though. So what I'm going to do is, let's just move that out of the way. Let's turn our machine on. I will announce the winner of the creative box as well. I forgot at the end of last show. Is that lady popped that question on yet? Oh, Kathy Taylor, question. Every time somebody asks me this, I'll go, oh, I promise I'll do a video, and then I forget. So the box making board in the Eureka. I will do a quick video on that. I will do an overhead showing how to do a quick box on the back of the Eureka as soon as I get a second. And I'll put it on YouTube for you. Is that okay? As soon as I get a bit of downtime, I promise I'll do it. Right, so let's show you a little cool technique. So what I'm going to do is, you will have seen in that video, in one of them, I ink it up with blue on one side and then I close it and you get white and blue. But I want to show you a little technique here where you can get texture with colour on two sides. So let's go, I'm going to try and go two really different colours, so hopefully you'll see. So let's go, shall we go green and red? So on the, so you get a positive and negative. You can see, if you feel it, the raised part is your positive and the recessed part is like the negative part, okay? So on the negative part, I'm going to go green all over. I'm just going to pop the ink all over that part. Now honestly, if you get it wrong and you put the colour on the wrong side, then you can do it again and just swap the colours, yeah? It's just a piece of card. So let's pop that on there. So that's one side. So this side here is raised, so I'm just going to take my red, I'm going to take a dauber, and where those flowers are, I'm going to punch some colour into the recess. Can we see that here? So in the red flowers, I'm just going to punch some red in there. Now you can pop some pinks and some purples in there to create a more realistic flower. Very pale pink for blossom if you want to. So I'm just popping some red in the recess, and then I'm going to take a different green here and an ink pad, and I'm just going to pop a different shade of green into the leaf area. Now if it goes onto the exterior, don't worry about it, it's not the end of the world. You can't hurt anything, it's a bit of ink and it all adds towards the texture, but this gives you like no white, if that makes sense. So normally when you just do one colour on one side of the embossing folder, you get a white colour, a white tone, where with this one it's a little bit different. And then you can decide whether you want to turn the card over and have it on the negative side or the positive. You can decide which one you like the best then. Okay, so it's like two for the price of one. You're sort of guessing which one you're going to like here, okay? So let's just grab our cardstock. Piece of white, should be smaller, but I'm okay with it. Now I like to spray. I think you get a better result if you spray with the water, but it is personal preference. Play around with them. They're inexpensive, you can't hurt them. So I'm just going to give that a little spray, and I'm going to give that a little spray too. And I'm just going to pop my card in here on that crease, and I'm just going to shut the embossing folder. That's, I'll hold it with my hand so it doesn't move. So let's bring our machine in here. So I'll pop that in there, pop that on there. So this way you can decide which side you like the best. So you'll have white on the positive or white on the negative. Let's run it through. Hopefully my plates are okay. Ooh, is it liking it? Oh, it's going for it. Our embossing folders do go through a snap, but you have to change your plates. I use my snap in my prep room and I use it on TV, but you'll have to change your plates. Don't force it in the machine. If the machine doesn't want it, take a plate out. If it goes through too easy and you haven't got that extra plate or whatever, just shim it out with a piece of cardstock and pop it through. That's what I do anyway. So then when you take your cardstock off, let me just show you here. Move this out of the way. So let's have a look at both sides. You see that there? And when you turn it over, See how the colour's gone into the deboss? It looks really, really pretty. It looks letterpressed. It's that nice. Let me just show you a sample of that very technique on a card from one of our design team ladies. Here we go, look. See, mine's just one colour really. But can you see this one here? It's really, really pretty, okay? So use the deboss side as well as the emboss side. Don't think you have to use one or the other. This one looks very, very vintage. I've got some colour on there. But if you cut this down, which I'm going to do, how beautiful that is. Really, really pretty. Now, if you want to now, with this, you could absolutely now go on top with some colour. Just move this out of the way. I've got several techniques to show you through the machine, so I'm not going to physically make a card because I've got some other techniques I want to show you. So if you take now like your sponge dauber, and I have picked raspberry here, so if you take your sponge dauber now and you add the pink, let me see here, so now just lightly on those raised areas. So I've got the lovely pink flowers on there now. And then if you wanted to, on the raised other elements, let's go with an orange, shall we? We'll go with orange. So all I'm doing is just adding a brush of orange onto those white areas. Just gently, because it's raised, so you shouldn't really catch the back really. We see how it's coming together. Let's do an orange one here, look. You can see now how you've got that lovely embossed flower on there. It looks really vintage. There we go. You can see the emboss there. Looks really, really pretty. So that's one way. Let's show you some more ways, because I appreciate there'll be some really advanced crafters on today. It's not the new pink. I haven't got it. I'm selling it, but I haven't got it. I wait till everybody's got it really before I touch any stock. I am very disciplined. And honestly, this is nothing against the colours or anything, but I have some pinks already, so I don't think I really need another. But anyway, that's just personal preference. But I do love my inks. So that's that. That's that technique. So let me just show you another fabulous one. So let's just grab a different one here. So let's go with I have not got the single one. What a shame. Where's my single one then? Let's go with this one. So let's go with this one on red, sorry. I'm just going to take, you see again, have a feel of your embossing folder. See which is, you can feel the raised part. The raised part is like frosted window. The raised part on the embossing folder is your frosted window. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a sticky ink pad this time, okay? I'm just going to lightly dust over this raised part. I'm not going to press on really hard because it'll go down into the sort of debossed area. So I'm just taking my sticky ink pad and just lightly dusting over the whole pad. I'm not really doing any pressure. As you can see, it's just a sort of light tap all over. Just get that sticky ink, and I can see from the side. If you get down onto the side, you'll be able to see. And I can see I've gone onto the back a little bit there, and I'll just try and take that off with a bit of tissue. But you can see, now this is a really cool technique. I'm just going to get my tissue and just, some of it's gone onto the back. I'm just going to wipe it off. So because I'm using the sticky ink, I'm still going to anti-static my cardstock so the powder doesn't stick everywhere. So anti-static the card. And I'll pop my cardstock in the embossing folder. As tidy as I can anyway. And then I'm just going to take my machine. So remember, we've used sticky ink on this one. We'll just run this one through. Have we all got a cup of tea? great thing about embossing folders is you never get the same look twice when you use ink, do you? There we go. Let's just grab some cardstock here. And when you take it off, you get this lovely. We're seeing there the sort of, you can see the colour there where it's a different colour. So this is red cardstock. Then I'm just going to take my gold embossing powder. Great for a Christmas card actually, this one. So then anywhere where you've got sort of powder and you don't want it to be there, I've got a little patch in the middle. I'm just going to take my dry brush, just going to take it off, which is really easy because it's raised. Anywhere else, there we go. So just brush it off and then it'll keep your design really pretty. And I'm happy with that one. So let's show you what it looks like. So let's get our gun nice and hot. So Joan, the combination I'm using is I'm using my big fat D plate, my B plate, I want to make a note, a B plate. I've got a magnetic sheet, I don't know if this is correct but it works. The magnetic, then I've got the two blue and black, I think we're embossing mats, blue and black, and then my A plate on top. So I put my embossing folder on there, I put this on top, then my A plate, and I run it through. So my gun's nice and hot now, so I'll just show you. So what we've created now, instead of having a red inky area, we have cardstock, and it looks like a letterpress. Beautiful. Look at that. Sorry. If that's not incredible, I don't know what is. So using your embossing powder on the lovely embossing folder itself. Just remember to clean your embossing folder though once you've put that ink on there, because you might ruin your next project if you don't. But if you look at the other side, look at the emboss side just in red. So if you do want to just keep it clean and simple, you have that beautiful 3D emboss detail on there as well if you want to have it. Now whilst we've got that on here, I'm just going to show you how you can just sort of elevate this a little bit. Do we all have waxes in our stash? Like, oh, she says, I don't think I've picked them up. If you've got like waxes and things, you can pop some on your finger and you can just lightly brush over and it will sort of elevate the design. It'll pop from the page. That's if you want to. Just trying to think if I've got anything as an alternative. Just 1 second. So let's just grab. You see, you'll be surprised what you can see on my. So say for instance you haven't got wax. Have we got any like glitter glues or sparkles or things like that? let's just grab this piece of scrap card here. So just pop some on your mat. So anything that's of sort of a liquid consistency, as long as you can get it on your finger and rub it on top. So just pop some on my mat here. This is just some stickles. I'm just going to pop some on my finger, like so, and then I'm just going to lightly brush over the embossed area. Just highlight some of those. I'm not going to do it all. Just do the leaf and the flower. And I'll hold it up and show you, because the glue sort of component part of it will dry back, and it'll just leave a shock of sparkle on the top of our design. So if you don't have the waxes, you can use your paints, your metallic paints, mix some on your mat. So it is drying pretty fast, which is cool because I can hold it up and show you how the glitter just sits lovely. That's it, I'm out. Just give it a waft and then I'll show you how the embossed area just picked up that beautiful, beautiful. Just going to pinch some off there because there's lots on there. Let's show you now. See that there? So this one's still wet, this one here, but the others are pretty dry. Can we see that there? So you just get that hint of sparkle when you just brush over with something that you've got in your stash already. As long as it's a liquid consistency, you'll get away with getting that sparkly. I don't know if it's showing very well, but it is pretty. It really is pretty. So let's have a look. Oh, we're talking about something else. Okay. So you can see how pretty it is. It's really, really pretty. So don't be scared to use, there we go. Don't be scared to use what you've got in your stash, your sparkles and your metallic paints, your confetti inks. Mix them on your mat, pop some on your finger and do a lightly dust. Let it dry back and then you'll just be left with the metallic sparkle on there. So there we go. So a lady's saying there she can't, oh, it's Enid. She can't stand gilding wax. Well, this is a great alternative, Enid. And then obviously you've got your lovely embossed background on there. So let me just show you very quickly the watercolour side, because I've had a lot of questions about this one saying I want to watercolour it, but you know, how do we start? How does it work? So it was this one here. So you'll have seen on TV, it was this one here, which I did in the pink, if you remember. So it was like pink watercoloured and then the leaves were actually watercoloured as well. I did start one for TV in blue. So I'm going to show you how I watercolour the embossing folders. There we go. I'm going to show you how I watercolour the embossing folders. Really, really easy. But it does look like you've painted it. It doesn't look like it's an embossing folder until somebody touches it physically, because it's obviously 3D, it's raised. But it does look like a painted flower. So I'm going to show you this, how I paint this one in blue. I haven't got the folder to run through for you. I don't know where it is. But this is the one that I started for TV to show the example, but obviously they sold out before I even got to wear. So I'm just going to show you this one here. Very, very easy, okay? I'm just going to see if we can just zoom in a little bit so we can get a little bit closer for you. So whilst we're just sorting that, I'm just going to grab a smaller brush. So you're going to need a small brush for this one to get in all the detail. And I will tell you now that this technique is very, very therapeutic. It can take a little bit of time, which is nice. So if you're wanting a fast card, this is probably not the route that you need to take. So we're just going to try and do it for you now. Just 1 second. If it's not working, I'll just crack on until. Right, so as you can see, I've started in the blue. Can we see that there? Let's just have a go for you. No, it's okay. Let's start in the blue. I'm just going to mix some of the blue up from my palette here, which is this one. And you need it really, really like pigmented. Get a lot of colour on your brush. You don't want a lot of water. We want a lot of pigment on our brush here. I'm just making sure. And then all I'm going to do is, on one of the petals, I'm just going to add it to the crease line in the embossing folder. So I'm just going to add it in here, look. Really, really thick pigment in there. Can you see that there? So I've just added it in that little crease where that petal is coming out. Then all I've done is I've cleaned my brush. I've taken all the colour out of my brush. Clean water. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the colour out with my brush. right to the tip of that flower leaf. See that there? So I've already got that beautiful leaf. Now if my blue, if I haven't quite put enough blue down, I just take a bit more blue, pop it in that crease and let the water do its magic. So that is one leaf and I'm happy with that. I'm just going to absolutely leave it and it'll just do its own thing. Okay, so let's do another one. So let's pick up some of the lovely blue here. So let's go, shall we go, which one should we do? Let's do this one up here. So I've got this one here, can we see here? So basically I'm going to go in the crease of this petal here, so I'm going to go around there. So the crease is where it's debossed, it's pushed back. Can we see that there? Get a bit more colour on there. So get that really thick colour in that crease. Can we see that there? Then I clean my brush. And then with the clean clear water, I'm just going to pull it out to the tip of that petal. There we go. Can you see there? So that looks like we've got that lovely shadow underneath that petal there. Pull the colour out. And if you're wanting it a little bit darker, so you can see here from mine, I've gone a little bit darker. I'm just going to go back to that colour. Just going to drop some more colour in there. See that there? I've got another petal there. So you can see we're building our flower. Does this make any sense? Joan, I am using watercolour card. I get better results. If you don't have watercolour card, it will work with normal cardstock. Just don't oversaturate with water. You might not get the movability as much as you would with watercolour card, but as an alternative, if you don't have the watercolour card, don't be put off by it. Do some cardstock. Practice anyway, and then if you do like what you're doing, you can buy some watercolor cardstock. Let's have a look. I hope that's helped. Missed the beginning. Oh. So let's do some of the green, shall we? So I'll just mix up some green here. Oh, that's the wrong green. I want it to match this green. I'm just going to mix up some green here and I'm going to get a lot of pigment on my brush, less water, more pigment, and then I'm just going to pop some green on a leaf. So at the point of the leaf, pop that green down like so. Let's do a few at the same time. So the really pigmented green. I'm just following the embossing folder. Nothing too difficult here, and then I'm just going to take my brush, get rid of the colour, so it's just loaded with a little bit of water there, and then I'm just going to pull that green out. Doesn't look like I've used the same green, does it? Pull that green out right to that tip. You see I've got our lovely leaf, and if you're thinking, oh, I've got a bit of a blob, leave it for a second or two. Let the water work its magic first before you start to sort of play with it. I'm just going to pull this green out. So sort of the dark green stays in the centre of the leaf, at the bottom of the leaf, sorry. Then when I add the water, it pulls it out. And I think you all probably know by now that you never paint two next to each other because they'll just bleed into each other. And then if you think, oh, I'm not quite certain about the line, just get a bit of water, just drag it out a little bit more. Just play with it, just enjoy it. I would probably put a lot of the embossing folders through your machine all at once on some watercolour card and sit on the couch and just thoroughly enjoy the process of watercolouring on them. You know, it's encouragement to pick up that brush. Can we see that there? You can see we've got our beautiful, beautiful flower coming together already. So once you've painted the whole thing like I did with the pink, I then take some of the green and some of the blue and just add a few splats around. Now don't be bothered if the splats go onto your artwork, it makes it look more arty. So just go around your artwork, add those few splats on there. And we'll go with a bit of the blue we've used, which is this one. can add a few round as well. And all you need to do is pop a sentiment here and mount it onto a pretty card, and you're literally good to go. So it's more of the process and the enjoyment of the process and achieving light and shade by an embossing folder. So you can see there, look at that. So that's the blue one. I'll just quickly grab the red one. And this is the red one here, look. So you can see the emboss there. You can see the line, it's super cool. And then when you add that colour and just drag it out, so don't be scared to do like monochromatic, you know, pinks, blues, greens. Don't be scared to do them. They don't bite. If you don't like it, you can go in the bin. So that's the embossing folders. I hope you've picked up one little thing that you're going to try. Is that okay? Right, shall we do something with the creative box very, very quickly? Denise, the large palette is in stock, yes, sweetheart. I think it might be under FBL or it might not be under FBL because I took it all out for the sale. However, if you go to Himi or Maya on the website, you might find them. They are definitely in stock. Right, so let's do our creative box. So, our creative box, so excited. I love the creative box. Again, didn't get the chance to show you, but I'm going to use a few bits and pieces from our creative box. Now I am going to send this to one lucky winner, and the lady's name is right here on this yellow piece of paper, and I'll show you in a second. But I'm going to use some stuff that we didn't use on air, so I'm going to use the stripe stencil, the stamp, and the embossing folder. If you have this kit at home, you can craft along. I'm going to use the stripe, which is brilliant because if you didn't want to do your stripes and you can't get them straight like me, and you have to do an alternative, then this is a great thing. So let me just grab a piece of white cardstock here. I think I used my white cardstock, didn't I, for my embossing. So piece of white cardstock here. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop my stencil on here, and I'm going to create myself a little bit of a panel design with some ink. So I'm going gold and navy today, she says. Let me just grab my ink. Like a bit of gold and navy, hey? So the distress ink is the Blueprint Sketch. I'm just going to pop my stencil on here. I'm just going to create myself sort of some faded lines. So I'm just going to take, now you can tape your stencil down. Just going to bring some of that blue down. So you'll see what I'm doing in a second. Just getting some colour down. Now if you put your excuse me, if you put your ink onto your cardstock and you're struggling to move it, like I am here, it's only because the cardstock that you're putting it onto is full of chalk content, okay, and it's taking a long time to pick up that ink. That's all it is. It's not you thinking you're not ink blending and you're not doing it right. That is absolutely not the case, okay? It'll be down to the cardstock you're using. Just persevere with it. It just take a little bit longer than you would normally do. I'm just getting, so just so I've got some lines. You're not going to see most of it, but you can see down. You see that there? So let's just move down a little bit. And I'm just going to move my stencil down. Just want the decorative element, and you'll see why in a second. So just going to move it down, match it up a little bit if we can. There we go. Yeah, the embossing folders are due any day, and I will let you all know when they land. I just want that blue stripe up the side of my card there. Super, super easy. So in the set you get this lovely like leaf embossing folder. Now this is a mini, which is perfect for your 5x7s. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the cardstock and I'm just going to run my embossing folder on the top. Can we see that there? So I've popped it inside the embossing folder at the top. So I'll have the stripe design running through these pretty leaves. So let me just grab my plates again. So it'll be the same plate format as we had before. Hopefully it'll work. So pop it in, pop my card in like so. Pop my mats on top. And we'll just run this one through. Tina, basically, do you mean the water drops, Tina? The sticky water, I'll get them out of my box. The ones with the clear sticky ones, is that what you mean? The ones that look like blobs of water? Oh, don't. Is that what you mean, Tina? Come back. So you can see here, look, we've got that pretty leaf design in there now. I've put it on the deboss side. I really did want the emboss side, which is the other side there. It's on the deboss side. So I'm going to have to go with it. So I'm just going to move my design up and I'm just going to emboss the bottom part here. I'm not bothered about the join because you're not going to see the join. Just so I've got lines in those leaves. Yes. Right, so this is what's happened. So everything, we had the right amount for all of the boxes. Have I missed a plate out there? No. For all of the boxes. And there's 3. So we're launching 3. So one's gone. There's 2 more. And if there is anything left, any spares of anything, I'm going to load them on as individuals. But I will not be loading the stencils, the stamps or the embossing folder because they're unique to the kit. They're like limited edition. But all the sequins and the stickers, yeah, I will load on if there are any spares. So keep your eyes peeled, okay? I know a lot of you have liked those. But you get the clear ones in all of the sets because I just knew that you'd all like the clear ones. And again, if you don't like the colour of them, you can change them with your alcohol markers. 2 birds, 1 stone. So here we have our lovely stripe design down the left, and we've got those lovely leaves on there. Now that's what it looks like on the emboss side, which I would have preferred, and we might use, I don't know, we'll see. So let's set this aside. This is the great thing about craft, isn't it? There's no rules, there's nobody cracking a whip saying you have to do it a certain way, and most times out of 10 anyway, when you start something, it never ends up the way that we started, does it? Oh, Elizabeth Castle baking a cake. We won't be doing the stencils on their own, unfortunately, Christine. They're limited to the box, limited edition ones. We've done 3 creative boxes. The second one's due anytime soon. I don't know if we're going to be doing any more. We were planning to do more, but I don't know if we are now. I don't know. I'll have to see. We'll have to see. Right, where was I? Right, guillotine. So what I want to do now is I just want to create 2 pretty panels with those embossing folders. So I'm going to trim it down. So I'm going to go right up to the embossed part. Create myself 2 panels, and then where it's joined in the middle, that ugly line, I have 2 pieces now. Can we see that there? So I might use the ones with the nice, that side, or I might use the lined ones. I'm not certain as of yet. We will see. So ahead of time, talking of water droplets, Tina, I have heat embossed the lovely large stamp in there. I don't know if there we go. I'll hold it up to the go. You can see there, it's lovely. It's a lovely gold, different flower. And on the little buds, I've popped those like water drops on there. Shall we call them water drops? If anybody wants to help me out with that, we'll call them something that everybody knows what it is. So let me just grab some pads and let's create a pretty card. So I have a white top folded note card. So let's see where this is going. So I've got the blue stripe because I'm going to go blue, and we were going to go navy, weren't we? But when you pop it on, let's have a look. Let's go blue just to be different. you know, we all know we can have a white side, we all know it, don't we? So let's just do it different. So let's just pop some pads behind here. And what I'm going to do, before I actually stick this one down, is I'm just going to take that lovely ink pad, the blue one that we used for our stripes. I'm just going to edge the side of the card, like so. So I'm just going to take the edge of my thing, and I'm just going to pop a blue edge around. Now I'm not being like distressy, I don't want it all over, but I want to just frame the white. So when we pop it on our white card at the back, it just elevates it a little bit. Can you see now how it just elevates it a little bit from our cardstock? So let's stick this one flat at the top. Sorry, not flat at the top. Let's stick this at the top, like so. And then we have our one here. So I'm just going around with that blue ink pad. So I have some very exciting news for you all. It's not set in stone, but would you all like to know what I'm planning? Would you all like to know what I'm planning? You'll have to tell me. You're all going to say yes, of course. Because I know what you're all like. You're all giddy kippers like me. And then just pop some pads behind this one. I'll just take the pads off the back here. Right, so let's I'm not bothered if it overlaps, but I want my design to have sort of the same border all the way. We've got our lovely sort of moody lines on there with our lovely embossing folder. So what I'm basically planning is, you know how March is the month, National Craft Month, it's March. Do we all know about this? Okay, well, basically March is the month of craft, where we try and get people to craft, or people to revisit craft, or try a craft, whether it be metalwork, woodwork, paper craft. It is actually the National Craft Month. So what I'm planning on doing is I haven't decided the day yet, but every week, one day of the week, it might be a weekend probably, because I can't fit anything else in through the week, but 2 hours on either a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning. I'm going to send you out a tick list of all the things you need, and we're going to do a class together on YouTube throughout the whole of March. What do you think about that? So you'll need things like a pencil, some watercolours, some cardstock. That's it. And we're just going to do some freehand painting for a couple of hours on my overhead camera together for 2 hours on YouTube. What do you think about that? Don't all say, oh no, I'm scared. But what I'll do is I'll send the picture of what we're going to be doing, and I'll send the bits and pieces that you need, and you will have them. I'm not sending anything that not everyday crafters are not going to have, so you won't have to go and buy. So like things like a size 4, 5, 6 paintbrush, watercolours, things like that. What do you think about that? And what we'll do is we'll spend 2 hours of a crafty morning, either Saturday or Sunday, together on YouTube. And then if you want to come along and just watch me painting and see where it's going, but if you do want to craft along, and then you can comment and say, I'm a little bit behind, can you slow down? Then I'll slow down, and we'll just have a couple of hours every Saturday morning or every Sunday morning throughout the month of March. Try and encourage you to maybe watercolour if you've never watercoloured, or maybe step away from your stamps, or if you're not a crafter and you want to try something new or something like that. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd be good. I just don't want to sit here on my own, because if I'm sat here on my own and nobody tunes in, my son will kill me. Right, so let's get this card quickly put together. Now, you know my banner that I cut for here? I used for my scrap for, you know, that glitter technique. Look, it's all glittery. So let me just cut another piece here. So, oh, amazing. Oh, brilliant. So you are up for that. That's good. That's real. That cheers me right up. I just thought it'd be good to, I think if we do it for 4 Saturdays or 4 Sundays, it will encourage you then to pick up your brush on your own. Because I know it can be daunting, but we're not doing anything difficult. We might do a sunset with a black leaf creeping in. We might do a little freehand poppy field. Hey, what do you think? You won't be on your own. Okay, let's do it. And just cut a new border here because I used my other for a scrap piece of card. What I'll do though is I'll send it out in a newsletter, the things that you're going to need. I'll send it out probably a week before. I'll also send a picture of what we're going to do, and then there's obviously the time and day, and then after the live show at 2 you can continue on, but make sure you post your makes in the Eureka fan page and just say, you know, National Craft Month, I've done X or Y, or and then we can add our own twist on things. So that's cool, isn't it? So let's stick this onto here. And I think we're still not going to be able to go anywhere for a while anyway, so I'm not keeping you from doing something, I don't think. So that'll be nice. And I'm not doing anything anyway, so we may as well get together and have a little bit of fun, I think. So we have this here. So let's grab, see, I'm having second thoughts now. No, I'm not. Changing my mind as this is absolutely just going for it here. Great idea, Toni. Thanks, Tracy. So you don't have to have expensive kit, just a regular size 4 brush, and then if you do like it and enjoy it, you can then take yourself off and buy all the good stuff that, you know, is out on the market. But you know, just inexpensive stuff. But I will send the list for each one, and it'll be pretty much the same list for them all, to be honest with you. So if you've got your watercolor, these absolutely perfect, you don't need anything more than that. But if you've got your tubes and you want to use your tubes, or if you haven't got watercolors, you can use your distress inks, they're reactive with water. So I'll make sure I put a list of alternatives should you not have what's in there. I'm just going to pop this banner in the center-ish, like so. Be better if it were a little bit straighter, but hey ho. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my lovely, now I'm going to go over here, I'm just going to stick this flat. Over here, and then I'm just going to grab a piece of cardstock here, and this is actually quite a white on white and gold card, but it's going to look even better in a second. Let's just move it out of the way. So I've got this piece of scrap card here. So in that stamp set you get the lovely solid sentiments, which are really nice. We've not done sentiments like this before, so let's go. I'm going to go friend. One of our friends has gone in for an operation today, and that has been on my mind actually. So as soon as I get home tonight, I'm going to message her. I know she won't be able to reply, but we do worry, don't we, when friends. So hopefully everything's gone well with my friend today. So I'm just taking that friend in the blue. I might actually send her this card. What do you think? Send her this card, hey? And because I'm using obviously the distress inks, it's going to give me that distress finish. I don't quite like the distress on it, so I'm going to go a few times and try and make it as solid as I can. Just do it one more time. And in this sort of font, if you have this set at home, you'll see it's got like an open fretwork in where you can get in with your glue and add some sparkle if you want to. So there we go. So I'm just going to trim this one down. Just going to take it quite small. I'll let you all know if she's okay. And she is a crafter too. Obviously I don't want to say her name because it's but as soon as I know she's well, I'll let you all know. So I've got this lovely friend here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it onto some of the matching gold cardstock that we've got on our banner. I'm just going to give a tiny slither around the edge. Like so, and then I'll pop it in my guillotine and we'll trim this one down. When you think about, you know, what we've all gone through this last, straighten that up a little bit, what we've all gone through, it's been nearly a year. You know, if you'd sat back and really reflected, my gosh, haven't we done well? Well, you know, hasn't everybody done really well? All I'm going to do is I'm going to take this friend, I'm going to pop 2 pads behind when I find them. There we go. Done a lot of talking today, I think. You tell me to show, I don't. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the friend and I'm going to sit it over our design, like so, and on that panel. Give it a good push down. And then those lovely water drops, which you're not going to probably be able to see, but they're on a sheet like this. And they're sticky as well, which is cool. I'm just going to grab my poker tool here. And I'm just going to pop some of these clear ones onto the actual embossing folder background, just in and around, just some of the small ones, because they do look like drops of water. They're really lovely. I can see why you all want these on their own. I might actually get some made in some colours too, because they're really cool. Just pop a few round, not a lot, because it'll take your eye away from the water droplets on that gold. She says not a lot, now I can't stop. Oh. There we go. So let's just hold this one up. Okay, I've only got 1 card to hold up today. There we go. So you get the idea. I'll move out of the way for a picture. Let me just make sure. There we go. So pretty simple, guys. That leaf embossing folder in the back is very pretty, but I did want it on the emboss side, but it ended up being on the deboss side. But hey ho, we can live with that, can't we? So there we go. Something a little bit, I won't say different, because it's nothing different to what we do normally, isn't it? It's just chopping up the design a little bit. So what have I got to tell you about? Let's tell you about the winner of our fabulous creative box. So the creative box I will tidy up and make all pretty for you all, for this lovely winner. And the winner of that one is a lovely lady called Margaret Roger. If anybody knows Margaret, well done, sweetheart. You have won the creative box that I've been using on TV and here in studio. Message me at info@stampsbyme if you want to, with your address, and we'll get that out to you. Well done. So Margaret Roger. Anything else to tell you? Have I promised anything else? Because I always go, as soon as I go off air, I say I've forgotten. So I'll take some pictures of this one as well, and then I'll post them on Facebook. If you would be so kind as pop a comment underneath this video once we've gone off air. This gives us a wider reach to the community, craft community, so people like our videos, which is super cool. And I'm back with you tomorrow at, it's Wednesday tomorrow, isn't it? 3 o'clock. And tomorrow I'm going to be showing you how to create that mini album out of 1 sheet of 12 by 12 paper. So if you want to craft along, get some 12 by 12 paper. It doesn't have to be double-sided either. And I'll show you how to make a quick mini album. I've had a couple of messages about that, so I promised Wednesday I would do that. So tomorrow we're going to do a couple of mini albums with some sheets of 12 by 12 paper. So I hope you can join me for that one tomorrow, 3 o'clock. So whatever you're doing, stay safe. I don't know if you're in a snowy area. If you're in a snowy area and can't get out, watch the snow from the window. It looks super cool. But stay warm, stay cozy, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bye, guys. Bye.